Hello everyone, I'm Dad of the Butt, and welcome to Abuttment, a Minecraft 1.12 Let's Play for both new and non-players. At the end of the previous episode, we finished here in the swamp, working our way west to find our new home. Firstly, I'd like to draw your attention to the game background music that's playing. At different times of the day, for example, this is the dawn or early on day 5, and it's playing the start of day music. At some point I will turn the music down, but it does give you audio cues as to what time of day it is, particularly useful if you're underground. So let's continue with swamps, as well as vines, mushrooms, lily pads. Swamps are home to a couple of hostile mobs. The first of those are slimes. Offensively pretty innocuous, easily killed, but large slimes, when killed, do divide into multiple medium slimes, and they themselves will divide into small slimes. However, they do drop slime balls. These are useful in creating sticky pistons, but we're away from redstone creations just yet. Also home to witches' huts, where of course you will find witches. They will attack you with various potions, but when killed will drop various ingredients that are useful in potion making. We noted in the last episode that swamps have or feature shallow water. That makes them quite a good place for finding clay. I just break this block and jump on in. So we can see now in our inventory we have 4 clay balls. Clay balls are smelted in a furnace to create bricks. Bricks can be used to create both brick blocks, useful for buildings, and also flower pots. Now, if I was to stop and smell every biome, we would take forever finding new homes, so I'll continue the exploration off camera and come back when I find somewhere suitable, or if something particularly interesting happens on the way. I think it's going to be quite a way before I find an ocean, so time to improve our mode of transport. One of the quickest modes of transport in Minecraft is a boat. They can break, so I always tend to make myself 2. Then if it does break, particularly if out on an ocean, at least you can put another one down and get yourself back to shore. So we make a boat, as I just showed you there, a flattened U shape using planks. Place it down on the water, right click to enter the boat, forwards, backwards. You can look left and right, or you can turn the boat left and right and look around. But again, I need to make sure I keep an eye on the time. Oh. And whilst I'm here, llamas. Quite often you'll find these rivers end rather abruptly. Shift click to get yourself out of the boat, then we can destroy it and portage across land. I'm in an area of large hills now, so I got to see what time it is. Need to, especially when I've got large cave systems. Come on, I want flat land with a view. Can't quite see, but it is, I can see a sunset over there, so particularly as I'm in a swamp, so get my bed ready and see if I can sleep. And let's resume our journey. A nice little view here, paddling down the river. We have a combination of forest and jungle biomes. Unfortunately, jungle biomes are horrible to traverse. Sometimes you do come across this sort of very steep face, and really you just got to get your shovel or pick, depending on whether it's dirt or stone, and dig your way up the hillside. Ooh, melons. Melons are quite rare, so I'm just going to jump out and get myself some melon pieces. I'll be able to craft some seeds from those and add those to my farm should I ever get out of this jungle. Oh no. Ah, interesting. He hasn't moved. Just up here we can see an ocelot. Ocelots can be tamed by feeding them fish, and that will give you a cat to scare away creepers. In the same way as wolves may be tamed with bones, and then they become dogs and will defend you against any hostile mobs that attack you. Get out of the way, squid. Squids are very passive, neutral mobs, but good for ink sacs, used as a black dye and for other crafting. I can hear a skeleton. Ow, you swine. Right, he's going to be after me now, and I'm struggling to navigate this stupid jungle. Go away. I see fire. What's going on here? So there's obviously a lava pool. There it is. Busily burning the jungle. I am now officially fed up of hacking my way through jungle. So time to introduce you to a third-party tool and the next mod. Here we are in the third-party tool called Amidst. I'm using version 4.3 beta 5. I have let it know that I'm using Minecraft version 1.12, and I have given it the seed for my world. From that it can apply the Minecraft algorithms and present a map based upon what world would be generated from that seed. As a third-party tool, this isn't part of the game, it's an external Java program that we can use outside of the game. This screen is showing us a map. These grid blocks currently are set at 512 blocks per grid square, and I'm centered on 0, 0. It knows from the generation algorithms that for that seed this would be generated and world spawn would be placed round about here, which pretty much correlates with the coordinates we took down earlier in the game. So for my exploration, I went down roughly west, but went down, crossed over the river onto the plains, which is where we spent the night mob hunting, and then roughly stayed on the plains heading west, and here is the swampland. Sorry, I'm looking in the top right hand corner where it gives you the name of the biome and the coordinates. So we headed across the plains, hit the swamp, and that's where we ended the previous episode. If I zoom out, since we left the swamp, I've been heading roughly southwest from the swamp, and currently I'm hacking my way through the jungle here. And having looked around the map at various options, I think I'm going to try and make my way to this island. So let's zoom in on that a bit. So we have some forest in the interior, which, as you know, I quite like forests. Here are some nice west-facing beaches for the sunset. An interesting interior lake that I'm sure we can do something with later on. Bit of Taiga Hills. So if we set up home somewhere around here, just over this isthmus, we have some plains with a bit of forest in the middle, so that will be interesting. The extreme hills here are a bit disappointing. They may interfere with our view, but we can't really see until we get there. Could also possibly look at setting up home on this cove here, which would give us the plains to the east. I'm not a huge fan of Taiga, and these extreme hills may impinge, but let's have a look when we get there. So I've noted down those coordinates. As I say, currently we're hacking our way through this jungle. Now we have an idea of where we're going to and how to get there. You can see there are these rivers. We can plonk a boat down, and that will make traversing the jungle an awful lot easier. Get down a river, out into the sea, and then a sea crossing, past this lurid pinky purple mushroom island. Once we've got settled, we'll go over and I'll show you a mushroom island. And heading for this lump of land here. That was amidst a third-party tool. Now I'm going to introduce you to our fourth mod. The first was Optifine. That sits in the background, improving our video and frame rates. The second and third were just enough items, stroke not enough items, that give us our inventory and chest enhancements. The fourth mod is one called Voxel Map, and that gives us, surprise surprise, a map bound to the M key on my keyboard. Now, don't worry if you're not playing with these mods. I played for many years without them. I've just found over time that using them doesn't significantly adjust the gameplay, but does give me a great deal more pleasure in the playing. Just above the cursor here in our map, you can see my player position. Unlike amidst, it doesn't tell us anything about where we haven't been. It does, however, keep a cache of the land that we have experienced and a little bit around. Obviously I've come down this way and it is giving a bit of a preview of a few blocks to either side and ahead. So if we backtrack along our journey, and one thing to note is that whilst the map is open, the clock is stopped. So I don't need to worry about mob attacks or nightfall. So if we come up to the start of where tracking commenced, zoom on in, here we can see our starting river bend, and if I zoom into the maximum, that little brown dot just above the cursor will be our landmark on the river bend. You can see here a clearing in the middle of the forest where we've chopped all of our trees down, and towards the centre of that brown spot is going to be our world spawn marker. The map does dynamically update. When it was first generated, this would have had the trees, but it has updated as we've removed the trees and added in the world spawn marker. We left our world spawn, went over the river for easy travelling across the plains, came across the first swamp, and then it's just been navigating primarily down rivers where I can, and a few swamps where I've run out of water. I've tried to navigate across a plain. It makes for easier going. And then you can see here is the start of the jungle, so this is where I have hacked to so far. One of the nice features is the ability to use waypoints. I'll just jump back to the screen, we'll zoom out. Find our world spawn marker. There's the clearing. Home on in and right click, new waypoint. So we'll call this world spawn. We can have whether or not it is shown on the map. We can give it a colour. We can also give it an icon. Because it's world spawn, I will give it a world icon, and it chooses random colours initially, so green is fine for me for now. So that is now done, and we can see that world spawn is now marked on our map. From our researchers in amidst, we know where we need to go, or where we would like to go. So we'll create a new manual waypoint, and we will call that home ? And the coordinates for that -2360. There are the coordinates for the island we are headed to. That's a horrible purple. Let's use a light blue, and we will give it a home icon. So that, there we go, in the blackness down there somewhere. Also looking at amidst, I spotted a navigable river, or what I hope is a navigable river, that should take us there. Let's plug in the coordinates to that river. So there's our river plugged in, from which we need to navigate to the ocean for the ocean crossing. There's our coordinates for the ocean. So now on our map, where I've just crossed is the river that I'm interested in. Now, although a mist shows it as a river, we can see that it's not entirely joined up, so we may need to try and find a little bit of portaging required. And we're heading for the ocean here, from where we can execute our sea crossing to home. The map mod incorporates many useful features, most of which I have turned off at the moment as we build our way up into the game, but one that I will turn on is the minimap with coordinates. You will now see up in the top right hand corner of the screen I have a little minimap of my immediate environment. That is zoomable, and you can see we're currently facing east as indicated on the rim. I'm in the centre. To the left you can see the blue diamond that we set representing the coordinates of the river we're looking for. So if I turn to bring that in front of me, and there we go. There is our river coordinate, although it's green and looks sort of blue on the minimap, but hey ho. That's our first navigation, the river, and this is the river. If you look again on the minimap, round the rim to the left, just underneath west, you can see a little green arrow. That is indicating the direction of another waypoint that we added, which is the ocean. So you can see it is about 320 meters in that direction. The waypoint representing the island isn't shown yet, it's too far away. I could delete this river waypoint at this stage. Unfortunately, I am at risk, number one, of it getting dark because I can't see the sun. But yeah, let's get our bed ready and see if it's night time yet. In fact, this does introduce the point I'll be looking to make. Come on, it's not far off. Hate jungles. There we go. Yes, now because I am destroying my bed each morning, that is removing my spawn point. So should I die at any point on this journey before setting a permanent bed, I'm going to end up all the way back at world spawn. Let's crack on. Here's a feature you sometimes come across, they're quite useful. Every now and again in world generation it creates a ravine, a slice through the land, a very useful way of finding ores very quickly. Was I to climb down there and go mining, I would be able to easily see various types of different ores, but for now let's stay focused on finding the ocean. Round the bend, and there's a sight for sore eyes. We'll just jump out here. A beach and an ocean. Yeah, there's where we're actually headed for. We're about 70 meters north. Reminder, in our inventory we were looking for some sand to fill this block, so I'll grab that whilst I'm here. And there we go, a stack of sand. So we're going to jump back in our boat. For an ocean crossing, we'll start by heading south. So there was the waypoint we added. And we'll just keep heading south, and in a short while we should get our waypoint for the island. Here we are passing some interesting little islands on the way, but all generally too small for our purposes. Looks like we now have our waypoint. There we go, home question mark. I think that's saying about 600 meters. And here's that lurid pink mushroom island that we saw when we were looking at a mist. Oh no, there we go, 700 meters. I think I'm going to quickly overnight on the mushroom island. And back we go. So I'm not sure if this land is the northern edge of the island or another island before we get there. No, looks like we're nearly there. So, hopefully this is going to be our new home. So here we are on that beach. Not quite as I pictured it from a mist, but certainly something we can work with. Possibly on this beach over here, or maybe see what the view is. Maybe see what the view is over on this bit. And maybe explore, see what's on the other side of the plains. If you recall, I think we've got some extreme hills that way. I'm going to have a wander around, have a look at different perspectives, cogitate what I'd like to do with the place, and I'll be back presently. I've had a little wander around here, but really, if I was doing that, I would have liked to have filled this in and turned it into a beach and put a home around here somewhere. But finally selected here. Plenty of space behind for farming and orchards. Nice and close to the sea, we can do a little bit of work, and we have what I personally like, which is a nice clear view to the west for the setting sun, and a beach and the ocean. Ordinarily I'd go for true ocean rather than across a lagoon to plains with the ocean to the right, but that's certainly adequate, and once we've done a little bit of terraforming and altered the land a little bit, I'm sure it will look just nice. We do, however, have a cave system. This block is where I'm going to centre my new settlement. You can see we have a cave system starting here that we're going to have to deal with pretty soon. Let's set our bed, and with a clear view to the west, as soon as the sun touches the horizon, then we should be good to sleep. A couple of extra pixels because of the land that's in the way. And there we go. Our first night in our new home. We'll probably do some work on these trees, but we should There we go. We've also got a nice view of the sunrise in the morning. And we'll be clearing a lot of these trees and maybe bring that hill down, make this area a little flatter. Chickens. That brings me to another point. Obviously, we're setting up our farm, so it's nice to see that at least we've got some chickens to start breeding food, and we'll cross our fingers that we can find sheep, cows and pigs. Otherwise, we need to go off and fetch them in boats, which is doable, but it's a bit of a pain. That's probably about the 30 minutes once I've edited this video down, so I'll say goodbye for now. The next episode will start looking at satisfying the need for food and shelter. As I always say, I'm not in this for the likes, but if you did find the video useful, then a like will help others to find it. Subscribe for notifications of future uploads, and please feel free to comment, but keep it relevant. And most importantly, be nice to each other. Keep playing Minecraft.